The reality of life. David Jaffe with beststockstrategy.com, and in this video we are going to discuss my thoughts, and these are very sobering thoughts, on the reality of life. The reality of life, at least in my opinion, is that there's a lot of suffering. By being able to aggregate and learn from so many of the things that I go through, that my friends go through, many of my friends who are extremely successful, I can tell you that there is a lot of suffering in life. When you see people on Instagram, when you see people on YouTube act like everything is perfect, that's not their reality. Remember that life is about working, getting things done, being productive, and then living a meaningful life. And if you want to live a meaningful life, then you're going to have to assume a lot of responsibility. And the more responsibility that you assume, the more stress you're going to endure. Many people are going through life and they're suffering. And that's why they develop dependencies, whether it's opioid addictions, addictions to overeating, or alcohol, or drugs. Many people simply waste their time because they seek constant entertainment as a distraction away from their current life. What are some of the ways that you can mitigate the suffering? Well, in my opinion, it would be to take care of yourself, to go to the gym, to go to the sauna, to exercise, to have meaningful relationships, to be productive, but at the same time, not put too much stress on yourself to achieve things. But, if you want to think that it's just me, then that's completely fine. But I'm telling you from experience, from someone who graduated from an Ivy League university, from someone who worked as an investment banker, and who is friends and who has come in contact with some of the most successful people on Wall Street. And there's a lot of suffering and there's a lot of pain for people who are not successful. Overall, there's just a lot of suffering and a lot of pain. Now, the amount of pain that you endure frequently does not remain constant throughout your life. There'll be periods of your life when you struggle more relative to other periods in your life. However, if your goal is to constantly be happy and to always be content, then that is not a good strategy, because I've seen it from multiple viewpoints. I've seen it by working as an investment banker, where it's all about sacrifice. And I've seen it from the standpoint of working as a nightclub promoter, where it's all about indulging in the moment and living a hedonistic lifestyle and indulging in everything that life has to offer. And I can tell you that neither path is the correct path, and neither path is the path of least suffering, because you can indulge and you can work as a nightclub promoter in your early 20s. You can be a nightclub owner in your 20s and 30s, but most of those relationships that you make are going to be extremely superficial. People are going to want something from you, but they're not going to care about you as a person. And on the opposite end of the extreme, if you work as an investment banker, you're going to sacrifice everything, and then you're going to look back and wish that you didn't make that monumental sacrifice. So the best way of minimizing and mitigating that suffering is to be very balanced. And it's to always choose your own personal health over anything else, whether it's money, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's anything else. Always try to live a balanced life, but do not try to completely avoid suffering. Because if you try to avoid suffering, then you're not going to be able to accomplish your true potential. The best thing to do is to accept that life is going to carry with it an unavoidable amount of suffering. The degree of your suffering is going to be contingent upon the decisions that you make. However, if you try to live a hedonistic lifestyle that is going to constantly kick the suffering can down the road, then you are going to pay that price as you get older. So there's no way of avoiding suffering, but the best way of tolerating it, the best way of mitigating the suffering, is to make sure that you live a balanced life, that you try to accomplish your goals, and that you live up to your potential while at the same time not overwhelming yourself with too many responsibilities. And also, do not envy anybody else. David Jaffe with beststockstrategy.com. You can visit beststockstrategy.com and enter in your email address to receive over $400 of valuable free training. I appreciate your attention. Please like this video and leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on whether suffering while living is unavoidable.